Hello beautiful people, welcome back again to my channel. So today we're going to be making this lovely off-shoulder dress. It's perfect for the warm weather. If this is something you're interested in making, do stick around and make sure you do subscribe before you leave. Thank you and stay tuned to the end. Okay, so for the dress, so I've got my fabric folded into two as always. I'm going to be cutting the front and the back at the same time. And the width of the fabric I'm going to be using is going to be around, it's going to end up being around 16 or 15 inches because I'm going to be cutting a little bit off the edge. So I'm going to end up, having 15 inches in width. So that's the total width that we're going to be using today. And so the length that I have now is around 45. Yes. So that's 45 inches in length. So I'm going to be using the entire length for this dress. So for starters, you want to make sure that your fabric is on the wrong side. So this is the right side of the inside. This is the wrong side outside. So you want to make sure that both fabric are folded and laid on top of each other perfectly so that you can cut the two at the same time. So this is a very beginner friendly style. Anyone can do this. It's very simple. You only need a few measurements. So to start off, I'm going to start from the top here. So I'm going to be marking off 6 inches at the start. So which is where we're going to start off. 6. Okay. So and underneath that I'm gonna mark an inch, which is going to be, so this is where we're gonna be folding it basically. So here, then we'll have the ruffle at the top, and then the elastic casing will be in between here somewhere. So this one here, an inch extra, will be for the elastic casing, and then we can do the underarm hole from there. Just gonna section because I know the fabric is not even at the end, so I'm gonna section off a bit here where I'm gonna be cutting off. At the edge here, I'm gonna be where we have that second line, I'm gonna mark 4 inch here on that line, so which is gonna be where the armhole is gonna be, and then come down by 4 inches because it's gonna be off shoulder. You really don't need a full armhole because normally when you do your armhole is probably around 9 or 8, so we just need half of that side. So for the armhole, because it's gonna be a half shoulder, so I'm gonna be using 4 inches. Okay, so you want to connect this 4 inch to this 4 inch line, to this line, so that's your armhole area. Okay, and this is your armhole area. And then actually take that all the way to the top because we're going to be cutting all the way up. All right, so all of this will be cut off. So that's the arm area. So, and that's pretty much the pattern for the front and the back. So you really don't need any more than that. So after this, you just need the length of your dress. I'm going to be using 45 like I said. So just do your desired length and then just cut out this. Okay, so for the sleeves, I've got 2 pieces here. The measurement is 29 by 22. So this will be the length and this will be the width of the sleeves. So I'm gonna fold the fabric into 2. So make sure that everything matches properly. Okay, so now that I have this is the folded side. So the folded side, so I'm gonna be laying this on top like so we can get the size of the underarm area. So place on top like so, and make sure everything matches where they need to match. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So you just want to trace out here and then cut that off. You don't really need a lot for this dress. I promise you it's very easy. And there you have it. So that's your pattern. So you want to start by pinning the sleeves to the bodice. So make sure that you're matching right side to right side when you're pinning the sleeves. So you just want to go around. You want to pin the 4 sides matching. So this is one, this is the bodice, this is the sleeve. You want to make sure you just pin right here, pin together. So make sure right side is facing right side. Okay, and then open that up and pin the other bodice piece. Remember, right side facing right side. So this is the right side, this is the right side. Make sure the right sides are facing each other like I said. Okay, so another one that we want to pin is here. I hope that makes sense. Anywho, so right side to right side like I said. Okay, so this is what you should have. You should have all the 4 arm areas pinned and ready to go. So here's one. Okay, here's one, there's 2. So this is the sleeve in between the bodice pieces. Okay, so here's 2. You want to sew that as well. Here's 3. Okay, you have the 3rd one. Okay, and then here's the last one. You have the last one pinned to the bodice and ready to go. So you need to sew in 4 areas. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope that's clear. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do now. So I'm gonna take this to the sewing machine and sew everything together. Okay, so after sewing all the 4 sides, this is what you will get. You get one big loop, which is fine, which is what we want. And this is what it looks like. So this is the sleeve, the bodice, and then the sleeve on the other side as well. So, and then what I'm gonna do next is, for the sake of ease, I'm going to hem the sleeves here just now, and then do that on this side as well. So I'm gonna hem both sleeves before I sew the sides together. Hem the sleeves straight across like that, roll it in twice if you must, and then hem it all the way across, and then repeat that for the other side as well. Okay, so I have hemmed the sleeve. So this is my sleeve that I'm showing you right now. The sleeve is quite wide. So now what I want to do is put some sort of ruffle at the end of the sleeve. So at the moment the sleeve stands at around almost 30 inches. Okay, 29.5. So I want to give it a little bit of a ruffle, so I can end up with like about 15. So I'm gonna sew in gathering stitch close to the edge of the sleeve. So this is the edge of the sleeve, so I'm gonna sew gathering stitch across this place here, and then pull that together. I would have used an elastic instead, but I don't have the size of the elastic that I need. I need those little tiny elastic, which I don't have, so that will be easier. If you have an elastic, just stretch it here and then use that to gather it together. But if you don't, this is also an option that you can use to like give it that. Then measure that so that we make sure that we have the same thing for the other side as well. So this one ends up being 12. Okay, so 12 inches wide, and then that's gonna be the same for the other side as well. Okay, so once you've done the ruffle for the sleeves, you want to pin the sleeves together. So at this point we can pin the sleeves and the sides. Okay, and this is where the sleeve meets the side seams. So you want to pin all the way across to the side seams as well. So this is what it will look like. So you got your sleeves, you want to sew from here across to where the armpit is, sew all the way down, start from the sleeves, sew all the way down to the entire side. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna do that now. So here we are now. The sides and the sleeves have been sewn, as you can see. So this is the top of the dress, this is the other sleeve. So this is what you should have. So you have a big opening right at the top. So this is where we're going to be doing the elastic casing. And if you remember when we did the measurements, we sectioned off, if I can see it, all right? So this is where we sectioned off for our casing. So you just want to take that line all the way around to come out through to the sleeves as well. So this is where the fold is going to be. So if you look at it, it's going to be like this. So we're going to end up folding on that line, and then we're going to sew another inch right at the top here and sew all the way around. So this is then going to be the casing. This is where the elastic will sit, and then this will end up being the ruffled part of your dress. So remember, this is, yeah, so this is 7 inches because this is supposed to be a 6-inch line and this is 7, so you want to mark your 7 across. 7. Okay, so now that we have the line going across, you want to then fold from the top and make sure it's landing on the line. This is where you're going to be sewing. Okay, so everything's folded all the way around where we're going to be sewing. So you want to sew on the line here. You want to try and fold it in, roll it in a little bit, just to give it that neat finish. So roll it in a little bit to sew all the way around, and remember to leave a gap where we're going to be fitting in the elastic. So you don't want to sew all the way around, so leave about an inch, 2 inches gap opening. So start here and finish here, so leave gap so that we can fit in the elastic. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm going to sew all the way around, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so this is what it looks like currently. So now I left the gap. Remember to leave a gap as well to fit in the elastic. So what's next is I'm going to sew right across here where the elastic will be. So this is the elastic that I'm going to be using. So make space, so that inch space is going to be enough for my elastic. So yeah, there you go. So it's an inch. So I'm going to be sewing right above this line, okay, to make enough space to fit in the elastic and sew all the way around. So measure your round shoulder measurement, and whatever that measurement is, you want to remove about 5 inches from that, and that should be the length of your elastic. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen next. So with this line, you want to sew all the way around. You don't want to leave any gap. Sew all the way around for your casing, and then once you finish sewing that, then we can fit in the elastic and then close this gap that we left behind. Okay, so that's that done, and now it's time to fit in the elastic through the channel. Okay, so off we go. So once the elastic has come through the other end, so I've got the 2 ends, I'm going to sew the ends together, and then we're going to fluff the dress. So this is what the dress is looking like at the moment. As you can see, it looks pretty good. So now what you want to do is close the opening that we used to fit in the elastic. Once you finish doing that, you just want to go ahead and hem your dress, hem all the way around, and then the dress is finished. So try on your dress and see what it looks like. So I will show you some pictures afterwards. All right, thank you so much for watching, and if you have found this tutorial to be useful, please do share, recommend my channel to your friends, and I hope to see you on my next tutorial. Thank you so much, and see you next time.